All right, guys, a lot of rumors, including the Jazz. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. Okay, guys, let's just get right into this. There's some rumors going around on the Utah Jazz. One of the major rumors for this Jazz team is about Anthony Black. Apparently, the Jazz really like Anthony Black. From Jonathan Wasserman, he's saying that if Anthony Black is there at 9, he's going to the Utah Jazz. He will not last till number 10. That is the first rumor that's coming out from Jonathan Wasserman. He's from Bleacher Report. The other rumor comes from Jake Fisher, who also mentions Anthony Black, but not just that the Jazz are interested in him at 9, but the Jazz have actually been making calls with the Detroit Pistons at number 5 and with the Indiana Pacers at number 7. This is interesting because apparently the Jazz really like Anthony Black. They don't want him to go at number 8. That is the big rumor right now, too, is that the Washington Wizards are looking to take Anthony Black at 8 post the Beal trade. And so Utah really wants him. This is from Jake Fisher. So those are two rumors. They both match up. The Jazz like Anthony Black. They're actually willing to trade up to number 5 to Detroit to get him, or possibly number 7. I don't know if they're willing to do more than 9 because they have pick 9, pick 16, and pick 28. I don't know if they're willing to trade, if Detroit's willing to make that move to take 9 and 16 for number 5 so the Jazz can take Anthony Black. So the Jazz have also been reaching out to Indiana. The interesting thing with Indiana is interested in Taylor Hendricks right now. Apparently, that's the latest rumor. And so do the Indiana Pacers think that they'd be able to get Taylor Hendricks if they move back to 9 with the Jazz? Very possible, because if Anthony Black just goes to the Jazz at 7, they may not know what the Washington Wizards do at 8. So apparently the Jazz really, really like Anthony Black and are even willing to trade up for him. Now, there's some other interesting things going on. The Jazz also apparently really like Jarace Walker. Jonathan Givony from ESPN has talked about the Utah Jazz possibly also moving up to number 5 with Detroit to get Jarace Walker. Apparently the Jazz are talking to Detroit a lot, or at least that's the leak that's been happening, is the Jazz have been talking to Detroit. They like Jarace Walker, and it also sounds like there's a floor there for Walker at 9. Now, I don't think Anthony Black and Jarace Walker are going to be there at 9, so I don't know if there's really a situation where the Jazz have to choose between the two. But those sound like two prospects the Jazz really like and are even willing to trade up to get. Now, it's interesting he'd mentioned Jarace Walker. If the Jazz trade up to number 5, do they take Jarace Walker or Anthony Black? I guess only Danny Ainge knows, but we shall see. Now, some of this could be some smoke screens, and you've got to take these rumors with a grain of salt. The different GMs are doing different things, and no one is more likely to make smoke screens than Danny Ainge during the draft to create some chaos to get someone to fall to him. The final rumor that's interesting is Cam Whitmore, according to Jonathan Givony, and this is actually multiple reports. Jonathan Wasserman also mentioned it in his latest mock draft, is that Cam Whitmore is likely to fall in this draft. One, because he's had multiple bad workouts. Maybe they just didn't go very well. And 2, apparently, according to Wasserman, some teams have marked Cam Whitmore as a yellow flag. I don't know exactly what that means, red flag, yellow flag, whatever, but because of injury. So we know that Cam Whitmore at Villanova had a thumb injury. I believe he had surgery on it. I don't know if that's related to that, but that is just the note from him that that just teams in general, there have been some teams that have marked him as kind of, there's an issue there with health. Now, it sounds like number 9 is the floor for him. So there's a lot of floors here. So you've got the floor, Jarace Walker, Anthony Black, and Cam Whitmore. Those are the names that are getting mentioned right now. And it very much seems like if one of those players is there for Utah, that's who they're going to pick. We know that from Rafael Barlow, the Jazz also like Bilal Coulibaly. So maybe the Jazz are trying to trade to... I would love to see the Jazz move into the 10 to 15 range to maybe get Bilal. Could you imagine if the Jazz come away with this with either Anthony Black, Cam Whitmore, Jarace Walker, and then possibly Bilal Coulibaly? That's an amazing possible draft, and seems like very likely at this point that one of those guys can fall. But really the teams to watch is Orlando at 6 and and Washington at 8 to see what they do. All right, guys, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. I will be doing more videos. I will talk to you next time.